Today we're going to look at different parts of a dictionary entry so that we can better understand how to use it effectively. So right now I'm using the Learner's Dictionary through Merriam-Webster. This is a great resource, especially if typical dictionary entries are a little bit harder to understand. So, the basic entries of a dictionary are the same, although they might look a little bit different in each dictionary. So we'll look at a few different ones today. First, we're looking at the word mouse. So we have the word listed here. And to look for a word, you just type it into the search bar. So we typed in mouse, searched, and this is what we got. So you have the word mouse, and then you have the pronunciation. Now, unless you understand how to read this type of writing, this can be not very useful. However, the nice thing with most online dictionaries is that usually there is an audio icon that you can click on for the pronunciation of the word. So if you click it, you can hear it.
Mouse.
Next is the part of speech. And in this case, mouse is a noun. And the part of speech could be things like noun, verb, adjective, adverb, and so on. And we can see here that the only entry for mouse is a noun. But if we went to a different word in the same dictionary, for example, the word drink, we have drink, and then the pronunciation, and then verb. But if we scroll down, we will find drink, the pronunciation, and noun. So we know that drink can be used both as a verb and a noun, and the dictionary gives many definitions under each one to show how the word is used in different ways. The definition of mouse is a little bit simpler, so we're going to stick with that for this video. After we get the word, the pronunciation, the part of speech, then we get different forms of the word. So in this case, the plural of mouse is mice. Usually if the word is a noun, you get to see the plural form. If it's a verb, you see different forms of the verb, like the ing form, the past tense. So for example, here with drink, we have drinks, drank, drunk, drinking. Those are all different forms of the word drink. The next part of the dictionary entry is the definition. So we can see here that here is a definition for mouse. We have a number 1, and down here is a number 2. So there are 2 definitions. Up here we see for definition 1 that a mouse is a very small animal that has a pointed nose and a long thin tail. Beneath that definition are sample sentences that show what the word means. So here we see the house was infested with mice and rats. And if we remember, the plural of mouse is mice, which is listed up here in the entry for us. There are also a few examples of how the word mouse might be used with other words. So for example, a field mouse or a house mouse. Going further, you can also see a little more information about how the word mouse is used related to this definition. Then we look down at definition 2, and we see that a mouse is a small device that is connected to a computer and that you move with your hand to control the movement of a pointer on the computer screen. Now, this is a good example to remember that you need to read the whole definition to really understand what it means. If we only said a small device that is connected to a computer, then we might think that a USB drive is also a mouse, but we know it's not. So that whole definition is important. And below that we also have example sentences. So this is what a dictionary entry looks like on Learner's Dictionary on Merriam-Webster. Now let's take a look at Google. If we looked up the word mouse on Google, then this is what we'd find. We'll find the word mouse. There's also an icon here for pronunciation that we could click on. We see the part of speech is a noun. We see different forms of the word. We have mice here and sometimes mouses, depending on how you use the word. Once again, we have multiple definitions, and here we actually have 3 definitions under noun, so that's a little bit different than the last dictionary we looked at. We also have a few other explanations, and then here's an example sentence. So there aren't as many examples here in this entry on Google. We scroll down here, we also have a verb for mouse, and we have different tenses, so that's different forms of the word. We have pronunciation here as well, 2 different definitions, and we have some example sentences. So remember that when you look at a dictionary entry, you can find the word, the part of speech, the different forms of the word, how it's pronounced, the definition, and example sentences. So hopefully this helps you better understand what you can find in a dictionary entry.